Welcome to Grayson's Creek Chronicles, a warm little hideaway tucked between rustling trees, watercolor woods, and the hum of a gentle creek. Around here, we celebrate slow moments, fall colors, soft yarn, and stories that feel like home. Pull up a chair on the porch. You're right on time. Welcome to the Lightkeepers, a gentle adventure where faith meets wonder. Each story reminds us that even in quiet places, God's light guides our steps. So settle in, breathe deep, and let your heart rest in the warmth of His light. Psalm chapter 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Through Bizzy's journey across the prairie, we discover courage, kindness, and the glow of divine guidance that shines in everyday moments. This is Feather in the Field. The prairie was waking up. Golden sunlight spilled across the tall grass. It shimmered like a sea of sunlight. And walking right through the middle of that morning magic was a girl named Bizzy, curious, bright-eyed, and always listening. Bizzy's boots tapped softly along the dirt path as she hummed a tune her grandmother taught her. She loved mornings like this, when the world felt open, peaceful, and full of possibility. Bizzy reached the ridge and paused. Something shimmered in the grass below. Not sunlight and not dew, but something else. She stepped closer. There, resting on a patch of soft clover, was a feather, white as snow, glowing softly like it held a tiny piece of dawn inside of it. "Whoa," Bizzy whispered. She reached out. The feather lifted, not by wind, but by light, and floated gently into her hand. The moment she touched it, the prairie grew quiet, listening and waiting. A warm glow flickered behind her. Bizzy turned. Hovering above the grass was a small, glowing creature? Part firefly, part star, part something she couldn't name. Its light pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. Hi? Bizzy said. The creature bobbed in the air, circling her once, then settling near her shoulder. Bizzy didn't know how she knew, but she felt it. This little thing wasn't being dangerous. It was gentle, and it had been looking for her. Bizzy smiled, a soft smile. "I think I'll call you Saul." Saul glowed brighter, as if agreeing. Toward the path, pausing until Bizzy followed. They walked together through the tall grass until Saul stopped beside an old wooden fence. A faint sound came from the other side, a soft bleating. "That sounds like a lamb," Bizzy said, more to herself than to Saul. She climbed over the fence and found a tiny lamb tangled in thorny vines, trembling and alone. Bizzy knelt beside the tiny animal. "Oh, sweetie, you're stuck." She worked carefully, pulling the thorns away. Saul hovered close, glowing brighter whenever she hesitated, dimming when she tugged too hard, as if guiding her with gentle light. Finally, the lamb stumbled free. It nuzzled Bizzy's hand, bleated once, and trotted off toward a distant flock. Bizzy smiled and waved. "You're welcome." Bizzy sat in the grass, catching her breath. Saul floated in front of her, glowing softly. Bizzy looked at him. Why did you bring me here? Saul drifted closer. The feather in Bizzy's hand glowed again, brighter this time, and a warm feeling filled her chest, like sunlight settling inside her heart. A gentle voice, not heard with her ears, but felt, whispered through her thoughts, "You are a Lightkeeper, Bizzy." Her eyes widened. A Lightkeeper? Me? The feather glowed again, and the scripture her grandmother always quoted rose in her mind. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Psalm chapter 119, verse 105. Bizzy looked up at Saul. So, you're here to help me follow God's light? Saul pulsed warmly. Bizzy walked back toward town, Saul floating beside her like a tiny lantern. The prairie shimmered, the wind whispered, and Bizzy felt something she hadn't felt before. Purpose, calling, courage. Bizzy didn't know what adventures waited ahead, but she knew one thing for certain. She wouldn't face them alone. Saul glowed brighter, lighting the path before her. And so began the journey of the Lightkeepers. One feather, one child, one step of faith at a time.